everybody. So we're going to be talking about God and Jesus and what the original real names are and how we came to that conclusion. And I mean, you can call God Jesus, or I mean, you can call God God, or you can call God Yahuah or Yahweh, but let's talk about the realness of it all. Let's get into it deep, okay? So, where does Yahuah and Yahusha and Yahweh come from? This name is God's personal covenant name revealed in the Old Testament. Now, I'm going to write it out for you so you can kind of see what God's name actually looks like. And just real quick. Okay, so this is actually what God's name looks like in Hebrew right there. And what it means is Yod He Vav He. Okay, so the scholars represent it as this. This is what scholars say. It's the YHWH, where they got Yahweh. But for those of who know, some of the vowels weren't even created, nor was J, by the way, back in time, which we're going to go into. But anyway, so Yahweh, or Yod He Vav He, was the tetragrammaton four-letter name pronounced most likely as Yahweh. The forms Yahuah, Yahweh, Yahiviv are different attempts to vocalize the same Hebrew name. So when did God first reveal his name? In Exodus 3:14 through 15, God says, I am who I am, and then puts YHWH. My name forever is I am, EHYEH. Is connected to Yahweh, okay? Which in the Hebrew, which I showed you was what that was, is Yahuah. Now the name meaning he exits, the everlasting one, the self-existent one. This is the first explicit revelation of the divine name. What does Yahweh or Yahuah mean? The name carries these meanings: the eternal one, the self-existing one, the one who was, the one who is, the one who will be, the God who keeps covenant. It expresses God's eternal nature. Why do different spellings exist? Well, ancient Hebrews had no vowels written, only constants. So whenever this was written, right there, when this was written, it was written without vowel marks. Later, Jews avoided saying the name out loud, replacing it with Adonai, which is Lord, which is why in the Bible it had translated to Lord, okay? Because of this exact ancient pronunciation was lost. Modern groups reconstructed pronunciation as Yahweh. Most academics, Yahuah and Yaviv, are sacred names to communities. All refer to the same Hebrew letters, which are the ones I showed you. Now, where does Yeshua come from in the Bible, which is Jesus? Now, Yeshua, let me find another packet so we can look at Yeshua. I'm going to write this out for you guys as well. Now, this was Yeshua. His Hebrew birth name was Yeshua, meaning Yahweh saves, or YHWH is salvation. This name comes from the Hebrew Yasha, which means to save. Okay? So how Jesus and God really, they don't connect phonetically, Okay? These actually connect, right? Yahuah, meaning, God. And then Yeshua, which is saying Yahweh saved. Right? So it's really important. So how did we get the name Jesus? It developed through language like Hebrew, Aramaic, Greek, Latin, and English. The Hebrew Yeshua, the Greek was Isus. The Greek has no Y or the SH sound. So in Latin, it was Isus. In English, it became Jesus. It's the same person, same meaning, but different language interpretation with spelling. Okay, so what does Yeshua mean? It is directly tied to the name Yahuah. Yeshua means Yahuah is salvation. This is why the angel told Mary and Joseph in Matthew 1:21, you shall call him his name Yeshua, which is Jesus. For he will save his people from their sins. His name itself contains the mission, which is Yahweh saves. It didn't say Jesus saves, it says Yahweh saves. So through the birth of Jesus, Yahweh has saved his people. Okay? Now, how are Yahuah and Yeshua connected? The Old Testament says that Yahuah is the only Savior. And Isaiah 43:11 says, Yahuah will come as salvation. Also said in Isaiah 49:6 and 52:10 and 62:11. And the New Testament says that Jesus, Yeshua, is salvation. Jesus uses divine name for himself. Before Abraham was I am. And that was in John 8:58. Jesus receives the worship and titles of Yahuah. Paul says Jesus existed before creation, which was in Colossians 1:16. This is why many Hebrew scholars say that Yeshua equals Yahuah in the flesh, bringing salvation. His name literally carries the divine name in it, right? Because God within Jesus, because he breathed that life, and he made him the miracle through the virgin, to where that is why he was God's only begotten son. Though he did not commit the sexual act necessarily, he impregnated Mary himself. Okay? An example of Yah appears like Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Obadiah, and Yeshua carries the meaning of Yahuah saves. So you guys, that's just a quick synopsis of why you may hear me or other people say Yahuah, Yeshua, things of that nature. Is just because we understand the origin of this and how it's interconnected. But all the same, Jesus, God, there's many names, many names throughout cultures and different religions. Okay, like for example, the Quran has like 99 different names for God. Okay, so as long as we're talking to the same one, that's what matters. Stay blessed and never stressed, with much peace, much power, much love, much light, and of course, much joy.